I am going to share with you guys the fact that I have always been secretly a fan in denial of a particular ability that some people have that I will never have. And that is sometimes I will either be in a room and I have nothing to do with the social activity going on, or I will walk by a squad and I happen to overhear what they are discussing because I don't have ear lids and therefore cannot block out sound. It's about sports being the small talk subject. And I must say that ever since I was a teen, I couldn't help but feel a degree of jealousy about how people are able to keep track of that shit. Say basketball scores, names of teams, say the Philadelphia Eagles. What is that? It's a football team. Say the Marlins from Florida. I guess those are like baseball or something. I'm not even sure. The Supersonics from Seattle, basketball team that doesn't exist anymore, and now they're called something else. And I think they play for a different state now. Shit like that. Some people really have the ability of somehow retaining that information. And for me, just like with history, I cannot imagine a life in which I can remember dates, names, eras, scores, abilities, terms used to describe what happened. I'll never forget when I learned what a fumble is on football. It is exactly what it sounds like when you're fumbling something. And I'm like, okay, why are you calling out the fact that that was a fumble? Why would you want to say that? To this day, I still don't know the rules of football, meaning American football, because I will never understand why soccer is called soccer and not football. And football, why isn't it called handball or tackle ball, anything like that? You could have called it any number of ways, but instead you had to pollute an already existing term. Or did American football come before soccer? I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to share that I am absolutely brain dead when it comes to sports, and even sports that are not particularly about keeping a score, I guess. Like say you have to have the skill of shooting a ball into something to score, something like that. Even with wrestling, I do bad at keeping track of that. There's some stuff that I can remember because it's stuff that I happened to watch as a kid. So naturally, some stuff just stuck with me. But sometimes I'll try to reference a particular individual and I'll be like, was it this name? Was it this guy? Is this the guy who fought blah, 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 and this and that happened? And and I usually get it wrong. I either get the letter right, but then the rest of it's wrong. And then when the person corrects me, that's when I'm like, that's right, that clown, I remember now. He's the one who did blah, 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 blah. But like, you see, I cannot trust myself from the get-go to have the information correctly. Now, you can ask me about any number of other things, such as science, and I'll be able to get it. Or say certain events that maybe had an impact on me, like certain airplane disasters, maritime disasters, stuff like that. I feel like I remember tragedies better, but like big scale tragedies, because usually there's something for me to associate it with. But outside of that, I cannot imagine a life in which I can keep up with that stuff. Another thing I don't do very well with is fiction, which I have said it over the years here. But when I watch a movie, I can love it, all that stuff. But after the first week since I've seen it, within the first day, I'm already forgetting most of it or misremembering certain details. And character names usually don't stick either. So yeah, you guys, I thought I would leave this here. I believe that in the past I made 2 videos that have to do with sports. One of them was about pro athletes, and then the other one was probably about just sports in general, how I feel about it. And I think I was saying how I don't really watch any of it and how I don't play any of them. Like I don't have anything to say about sports. Sometimes I can take a detail, say someone's name, and if they do something, I can discuss that something. But like the actual art, the actual sport. What about you guys? Are you guys good with that? Who got you into that? For me, one of the things I did was years ago, I was asking someone who is good about remembering stuff that happens in movies. And I'm like, how do you maintain the small talk about movies? And then this person said, all you do is you talk about what you liked and what you didn't like. And I'm like, but how? Because it's something that I don't understand. If I see a shitty movie, what makes a movie shitty? You know, especially superhero movies. I get all those people online flooding my timeline talking about why they felt that a certain character was misrepresented and this and that. And I'm like, I don't get it. Is it the source material that did this to you? Is it because this is something from a comic and you remember the comics and you want to see what happened in the comics in a picture? Which I kind of get it, but there's a part of me that's like, if the source material already exists, why wouldn't you want to try to do something different? But there's also a part of me that's like, I didn't read comics because I didn't like the fact that I had to read them. I like to watch superheroes and watch anime and cartoons as opposed to reading them out. I trust the picture that forms in my brain, but it's better to see the picture moving and talking on its own for me to be entertained. See what I mean? So yeah, you guys, I don't know. Sports, y'all can have them. Y'all can play them. Keep me out of it.